Hi everybody, before I get going on today's subject matter, I would like to say a huge big thank you and a shout out to Sean for bringing it to my attention, really, because he very kindly said he'd noticed a lot of the girls today were wearing these breastplates. What were they like, how realistic are they, and what sort of costings are they? So that got me to thinking a little bit. I've got a few of them hanging around here, so I thought I would do a quick review on them. Hopefully it will be of interest. So without any further ado, let's cut to the intro. Hi and welcome back. So what I'm going to do is have a look and review these two latex what I call full breastplates at the moment. So as you can see, they're kind of like a gym top arrangement here. They both got sort of characteristics about them. Each of them have their own little quirks and benefits. So first of all, I'm going to start with that's what I call the regular size one here. This one, the manufacturer assures me, is a C cup, so it's a regular size one here. The latex used in this is a oil-free based latex, and I think it's got a lot of movement about it, that's for sure, and it's very, very sort of pliable and stretchy. Which I think is very, very handy because it means it fits quite a few sizes. The only thing that I cannot sort of get readily from any forms of manufacturers or anybody I've looked at is the actual size they will stretch out to. From the experience I've had wearing them myself and on a few of my sort of clients and people and friends that I know, it gets pretty tight around the neckline here. If you're somebody with a sort of 46, 48, 50-inch chest, that can be quite constricting and tight around the neck, and the whole thing can be quite tight on you. So that's worth considering there. Now you can trim this down because it's got quite a long neck on it as well, so you can trim that, but you have to hide this sort of line, the hard line here, with probably something like a choker or a scarf arrangement. I've seen a lot of people do that, and that works reasonably effectively. The other thing of note really is, I'm sure you can see it yourself, the colour is all the same all the way through, which means that there's no variation, and our skin has variations in it, you know, even if it's sort of little sort of marks all over our skins and freckles and things like that. So maybe you would like to put a bit of makeup on there. These particular ones, I think the makeup will go on and it will wash off. I don't think you're going to do any harm to them. And again, with this particular manufacturer, they do them in various cup sizes, from an A, I believe, all the way through to a H cup, which is a mighty big one. And they do them in, I think, about 6 variations of shade. So I would pay particular attention, if you're thinking of buying one of these, to the shades that are available. You know, get as much information as you can, because it does look a bit odd if your face is one colour and then you go down to your neck and it's a completely different colour. It makes it stand out for all the wrong reasons. Now, I think where the variation is on a lot of these manufacturers is what they do when it comes to filling in the actual breast itself. This one here, as you can see, as I'm squeezing away here, is quite pliable and has a fair bit of movement to it. But when I turn it around on the inside to see how it goes together, what I can see is 2 sort of glued down plates here. I have it on assurance that in here is a form of soft material. I think it is a sort of cotton based material here, and it is very squidgy and it works well. And as a test, what I've done is sort of like stretch it real just to make sure it keeps its form, and it does, and I can't see any colour variation in this area here, so it works. So you can have, as in this instance, the cotton. I believe you can also have them fully injected with silicone around them, a bit like a silicone breast form if you wish. And then the third option I've come across is an actual foam type of insert. And with that in mind, what I want to do is review the second one here, which is, as you can see, slightly larger in the breast augmentation here. I think this one comes out at about a size E or an F cup actually, and the difference really in this one is, as I alluded to slightly earlier, is in the inside here, what they use for forming or putting the shape into the breast form. So when you get it shipped to you, what you've got is just this latex sort of skin here, and you get these rubbery sort of things, I suppose foam would be the correct word. They're shipped with it here, and you insert them in. Now, My own personal opinion on these is they're not ultra realistic. The shape is a bit odd, and when I've actually worn these or seen people wear them that are quite large in the chest, it stretches around the bust area here, and I can actually see the white of these foam sections coming through, which just adds to, I don't know, the unrealistic approach of this particular sort of, I don't know, top really. I've actually got over that by inserting silicone breast forms actually inside of this the right size, so it doesn't look too bad. So that's a negative about this particular design. So if I was going to purchase one or recommend buying one, I would either have them with a foam like the previous one, I mean with a cotton or something like that, like the previous one, or have them with silicone inside of them rather than these foam inserts here. I think that's a cheap option. I don't particularly like it, and maybe that's the reason why they're slightly cheaper when you look for them on the internet. This one here is a slightly darker colour. Again, it's not ultra realistic. I'm sure that I could probably put a little bit of makeup over it to make it look a little bit better. So that's those two there. Slightly sort of variation on a theme when it comes to the inserts in them. There is another format around, I'm sure there are more than two, but there is one that's manufactured from a company out in America, and it goes under the trade name, I think it's Boobs for Queens, and that really is like a bib that would go around the back of your head around here. You'd have a little bit of tape around there, and it sort of connects at the back there, and it just sits just over the bust area here only. The advantage with that is that you're not fully incarcerated all around the chest area and around the back in this latex, and therefore your body has got more opportunity to get rid of the heat. I've found wearing these has been quite hot. I'm going to, towards the end of this video here, I'm going to pop one of them on so you can see how realistic you think they look. So without further ado, I'm going to pop over to that. So there you have it. I've managed to slip into the C-cupped version. This is the lighter version of this latex breastplate here. I've used the same dress, so you could see the difference between the opening sort of section of the video and what we've achieved here. I'm wearing quite a high-necked choker here just to break this line up so it blends in quite well. As you can see, there's a bit of a significant difference between my foundation and the colouring around the chest area here. That is my one comment, that it's, you know, it is a one flat colour, so you might have to fiddle around a little bit with a bit of makeup on it. I think also if you take a little bit more time in choosing your colour, you might get a closer match to it. So what do I actually think of these? Well, personally, I think for photographs it's very good. This particular product I reckon is very good for people that have got hairy chests and they want to sort of wear dresses with a low front to them to get that more feminine features and feel about things. It's quite warm to wear, if I'm really honest. I can feel my body temperature going up quite high. Is it realistic? I'll let you comment on that below. For me personally, as I said, I would probably use them for photographs, but I wouldn't go out wearing one of these at night time unless I had a dress that's possibly got a little bit of a mesh over it so it blends in a little bit better. Then it may not be so easy to spot. I think it's a good option for people that have hairy chests. And that's really the review. So I hope you like that. Please don't forget to like and subscribe and press the bell for the notifications. Once again, I hope you liked it, and thank you very much for tuning in. Bye bye.